And welcome to Around the Table with Dan and Ann. It is our Friday show. Whoa!
Wow. Wow, Dan. Tell me how you really feel, man.
Get a little boost on a Friday. Whoa!
You're boosting, okay. I don't know
I'm blowing people's eardrums out. That's what I'm doing.
Well, you're trying, man.
Sorry.
Even mine.
Welcome.
Now I can't hear myself at all, so I got to turn myself up. There we go.
How
Good
are
morning,
you doing
Dan.
this morning?
I'm
good.
Evidently not as chipper as you, but I thought I was pretty chipper.
Well,
Till I faced up with you.
Need to ratchet it up a little bit.
Ratchet
that.
Yep.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever
ratchet.
I said.
You ratchet. You got any plans for the weekend, Dan?
Weekend. Going to try to stay warm.
Cool.
I was going to say cool, but
yes, warm.
It's going to be cold.
Now, it doesn't
really
happen until
cold.
tomorrow night.
I know, but I'm bracing for it.
Well, of course.
I'm shoving old socks under the door to block the wind.
Do you do that? Have you ever had to do
I've
that
done
with
that
a draft
kind of stuff.
kind of thing? Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, if you got a draft going.
When you're young and just getting started in life, and you rent these old houses, and you're sitting by the door watching your favorite show on a little bitty 19-inch television, black and white television. You go, ooh, where's that wind coming from? Then you realize there's a big crack in the door. Have you got a story like that?
No, I just knew you'd come up with some kind of story. I was just waiting to hear what it would be.
Well, you do what you got to do.
That's true.
Yeah, we had rented a house one time that we'd been there a day or so, and I went into the kitchen for something, and I turned the light on, and the floor moved.
What?
The floor was moving.
Were there bugs?
There was roaches all over the place. So I think the person before me had roaches, and
right.
they didn't get the memo that they needed to jump in the delivery
take
boxes.
them with them?
Yeah, so they stayed.
Wow. Yeah, Yeah, those are gnarly little suckers.
Now, you've had bug problems before.
I've had bug problems.
Yeah.
Now, not necessarily roach problems. Of course, we'll see a roach now and then. Who knows where they come from, your groceries, your what, or just because.
Now, there's different roaches, right?
Some of them bite,
Some of
them,
them,
I hear.
I get them in the house every now and then, but I think they're like different kinds of roaches.
They're like not the big old
like the out in the woods kind of
honking
roaches,
ones,
yeah.
I don't think. Or that's not what I've seen anyway. But I don't like to see them at all, so I go, re-roach trap everything if that happens. But I've had the bed bug problem once.
Yeah, but you brought
Knock on wood, people, that never, ever, ever.
But they were brought in from a hotel that someone
in New York. In New York, that's what we figured out was from New York.
So those were New York bed bugs.
They were.
Those are wickedly vicious.
As we researched after the fact, there had been quite an influx of that, and that's when they started using bed bug bags on your mattresses that bugs can't get in there.
Oh,
because they like to nest around where the cord part is,
creases and stuff.
The creases and stuff.
Yeah.
It was not a fun venture, but we
Poor
got rid
creatures.
of them. I'm not feeling sorry for a bed bug whatsoever.
They've got a life just like you do.
They were biting Richard. They didn't bite me.
Well, they need food.
But we'd wake up with little red spots on the sheets in the pillowcase, and I'd look at him. It was like you couldn't see anything. Well, they were biting on him, and he would roll over, and then it would leave the
blood stains.
The blood stains.
Oh my gosh!
It was bizarre.
They were having a picnic on him.
They were. He must have been juicy. Yeah. I don't know.
Well, don't you feel sorry for him a little bit because now
No.
you eradicate them and they don't have like family reunions anymore.
No, I do not feel sorry
for them. They don't
them.
get to travel.
No, I don't.
You gave them a death sentence.
They can go back from whence they came. That's what I say.
Oh boy.
Oh well. Okay.
Oh, so what's your big weekend? Anything?
I don't really have anything
good
planned.
I don't either.
Which is just fine by me.
I'd love to go hiking, but I think it's going to be way too cold for that.
It's going to be cold and maybe wet.
But if I was a true hiker, I would say, bah.
I don't care.
I don't care.
But it is supposed to, it's rain likely today. Did you know that?
Today?
Mainly after 4 p.m., increasing clouds with a high of 55. And here it says a chance of precipitation is at 60%.
Oh, that's pretty strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then tonight, a 40% chance of rain, mainly before 10 p.m., low of 29. And Saturday's partly cloudy, high 35. Saturday night, cloudy, then gradually becoming partly cloudy with a low of 14. Sunday, sunny with a high of 24. And Sunday night, mostly clear with a low of 8. So the bottom's
8
dropping
degrees,
out.
okay.
You can take it from market.
And then Martin Luther King Day, which is Monday, looks like the high is only going to be around 26. Isn't that Inauguration Day, too? Is that when the president
I
gets
think
inaugurated?
you're right. I
Yeah,
think you're right.
I think so. It's probably going to be, they say it's going to be cold there. So, yeah.
I bet
and
it
then
will be.
Monday night, low 10. Tuesday, high 27. Low 15 for the overnight low. Wednesday, high 40. And Thursday, high 40.
Wow.
No rain. The only rain you're going to see this in the next several days is today and maybe tomorrow.
You know, I went to a presidential inauguration
What year was that?
whenever Clinton was inaugurated.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. It was a unique experience for sure.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Okay.
you're talking about inaugural day, so I
Right.
just had to throw in my 2 cents.
Well, that's where you've been, what you've done.
That's right.
Yes. Did you get a plaque or
No, I
certificate
got
of
some
some kind?
mementos, but no.
memento? I
Mementos.
bet you bought those, didn't you?
Well,
you have
yeah,
to pay
duh,
for them.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who's on the show today? We've got a full show.
We do. We have up first Matt Bell and Emily Powers, and they are representing the historic downtown business
Is that who
district.
that is? Is that Matt Bell sitting out there right now?
Yeah,
Is that him?
Yep, that's him. The infamous
Yeah. Oh,
Matt Bell.
he's trying to be incognito.
Oh, now, yeah. And then as a second segment, we'll be visiting with Jeff Nielson in our regular monthly segment with the Chamber.
Okay. All right.
He'll
Haven't
probably
talked to him for a while.
expand on what they're going to talk about, so
Okay.
it kind of all fits together.
All right. Okay.
Okay,
All right.
can we do the topic to ponder?
You
maybe?
wanted? Oh, okay. Did I do the topic to ponder?
No, we haven't done it.
I just want to warn people.
Oh, it's
And-
another
and-
trigger.
No. We've had a little bit of controversy with our, I say our, I'm the one that wrote them out.
Yeah.
With our topic to ponder, it's been on the California fires, and I just want to have a little fanfare. This is the last one. You won't hear any more about the California fire with any more topic to ponders. We're putting
Well,
those to rest.
only one day was it really kind of fired back and forth, and that's all disappeared off the page.
Yeah, okay.
But
Hopefully
like
this
even
doesn't stir it up.
yesterday, I mean, there was like we said, speak your speak
Right.
your piece.
Yes.
Say what you want to
Yes.
say, and just people be respectful in that process.
It's the only country left that allows you to do that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So let's go into topic to ponder.
Okay.
Get up, get moving, get those thinking caps on. It's time to ponder this topic.
You want to read it?
I wanna
You
read it.
Okay.
I wanna read it.
Okay.
What should California officials change about the way they currently handle wildfires in their state?
I would think a lot.
Well, they're going to have to.
Yeah, I think after this huge disaster, they have got to. I mean, look at the expense and the money and the man hours and woman hours that they're spending now after the fact.
Right.
They've only got 2 dump planes, I think. Maybe they're getting them from other states now, but I mean, they're constantly.
Right.
And I know there's more fires up there now. I can't remember where, but I saw that this morning. But I think it's time that they may.
They're going to have to spend some money, and they're going to have to get rid of some of the underbrush and all that crap that just perpetuates the problem because it's dry and fire spreads
Right.
thick through that. But also, whatever is wrong with these reservoirs that they're not filled up,
Yeah.
let's get it fixed.
Yeah,
I
and
don't know where you're going to get your money. I'm just
Yeah.
saying it needs
Yeah,
to be
it needs
done.
to be done. And federal money may be the answer.
I would
too.
hope that the government could help them out.
Right.
Good grief, this is disastrous,
Well,
completely disastrous.
And they say that hook up to the fire hydrants and there's no water.
yeah.
And it could be because everybody's hooked into them.
Well,
and they're
that's what
trying
I
to use
figure. Everybody's
no
trying
pressure.
to use it, and that's why there's no pressure.
them. They need to come up with a better system.
I don't.
And
yeah.
I think this whole thing will make them say,
Yeah, we need to do something.
We've been doing it wrong
right
up to this point. We need to change it. I think they were voted the best fire department in the country
They
at
were.
one time.
And
yeah.
I'm not saying the fire department didn't do,
Yeah.
I don't know where the
Can't fight a fire without water.
but it's definitely there.
Yeah.
So we don't have any responses yet on our
Okay, that's
topic
fine.
to ponder today, but go to our Facebook page around the table and give us your thoughts.
All right. Yes, please. Please, please. Let's do history.
Okay.
We're doomed to repeat ourselves, so let's find out what happened today in history.
I come to you with a message of leave-taking and farewell, and to share a few final thoughts with you, my countrymen.
64 years ago, President Dwight D. Eisenhower delivered his farewell address in which he warned against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex.
Ooh. I wonder if that came true.
1961.
I don't remember that ever coming true, though. No, anyway.
I don't know.
He just warned about it. That's fine. You gotta warn people,
Yeah,
Look out.
exactly.
I certainly am infinitely more sorrowful about the two victims of this killer than I am that he is no longer living.
This was back in 1977. 48 years ago, convicted murderer Gary Gilmore became the first person executed in this country in more than a decade when he went before a Utah firing squad. The state's Attorney General Robert Hansen had a few regrets.
Okay.
I think he requested a firing squad, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, somebody, maybe is it him?
Yeah,
Because I can
Gilmore
remember that
wanted a firing squad.
get it over with. Like, I don't know, man.
whatever.
I don't know.
No easy way to go.
No.
My stereo broke, my TV broke, my Super Nintendo broke, my birds died, my fish tank broke, my VCR broke, but thank God I'm alive.
Well,
Yeah,
all right.
thank
Be
God.
thankful that I'm
Yeah.
alive. 31 years ago, Southern California suffered a major earthquake measuring 6.7 on the Richter scale, killing 57 people. 16 of them died in the community of Northridge when an apartment building collapsed. That boy survived the quake, and he was grateful
was
for that,
grateful.
although he lost all his stuff.
He could go out and play in the dirt.
We passed the hospital, and they have no room in the hospital itself, so they are tending the injured outside the hospitals, and in the cold, they're just laying there.
Yeah, this was 1 year later, back in 1995, 30 years ago. An earthquake measuring 7.2 devastated Kobe, Japan. More than 6,000 people died, and the quake awakened Emil Jacobowitz of New York, who was staying at the hotel there.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Actor Jim Carrey was born at this date in 1962. He's 63. Carrey delivered a critically acclaimed performance in the 1998's The Truman Show.
Young people, don't be afraid. Be focused. Be determined.
Yes. Birthday cut. Michelle Obama is 61 today. While in the White House, she often focused on the nation's children.
And singer and rapper Kid Rock was born this day in 1971. He's a big, whopping 54 years old. He had a big hit with All Summer Long.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. We're actually above.
Oh my gosh, it's not even 9:15
No,
yet.
we're ahead of schedule here.
Wow.
You want to just sit in silence for a minute?
No, we got
Okay.
two guests, so maybe that'll work out well that way.
We're going to take our first break, and when we come back, Matt Bell is with us, along with Emily Powers, and they're going to talk about the historic downtown business district and some other things that I'm sure we can pry out of them. So, looking forward to that. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
96.1.
And welcome back to Around the Table. We're talking with some representatives from the downtown district, and Matt Bell and Emily Powers is here. And
welcome.
You guys just got out of a meeting you want to talk about.
Yeah, we sure did. We had a really nice kickoff. What was it called, Emily?
New Year, New Downtown.
Ooh.
Oh, that
Ooh.
sounds intriguing.
Kick 25 off with a bang. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was all kinds of downtown merchants. We had how many there?
We had 57 people there, representing 36 different businesses in the downtown district.
Wow.
So,
wow.
That's good.
That was about 40% of the businesses that are downtown. You don't realize how many.
I didn't know.
That's pretty. I mean,
don't
I
think
think that's
about
pretty
that.
dang good
Yeah.
myself. Yeah.
There was quite a few there. We were very
Well,
pleased.
stop. You're fine. It was covering your face, Matt.
Oh, okay. Thank you for that. Yeah, so it was a
We're
great
trying to block
turnout.
it.
Our goal there was to really get all of our downtown merchants on the same page. If you'll remember, well over a year ago, we, well, I'll back up a little bit. The mayor wanted to put together a committee for our downtown to really revive the downtown, and he requested Mike Neighbors to be the chairman of that. Mm-hmm. And Mike started recruiting strategically partners to be on that committee. We started meeting, and then fast forward just a short period, within days of that committee being established, the city of Harrison and Mountain Home received a grant, thanks to the Northwest Arkansas Economic Development District.
Okay.
They received a grant in which funded a strategic plan that would be provided by a company called Downtown Strategies.
Okay.
And
Hence how we got our name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then we said, well, we're going to be Harrison Downtown Strategies Group. So they came in, did a walkthrough, looked things over in our downtown, and then they did a community survey. And they did this for Harrison and Mountain Home. What we like to brag about is we had nearly 500 responses to the downtown survey.
I did that. That was that was good. I mean, it was all about getting our promoting Harrison and, downtown being what you want downtown to be.
Yeah. Yes, and it blew them away. I'll say that for sure. They were surprised. In comparison, our number of responses blew Mountain Home out of the water.
Really?
Well,
good.
We're better. But what's important about that more specifically is it showcases the passion that our entire community has for our downtown. We don't have 500 merchants downtown. That tells you that people from outside are wanting to see it grow inside. So then we get that. We go through months, and this committee met every week at 8:30 in the morning. And we went through this process, and we talked about other things, projects ongoing in our downtown, and just so we could have that, that level of communication that makes everything move a little bit better. And so then they punched out the survey for us, the results, and started working on a strategic plan with us having some input. We were able to give some input on some of the thoughts that we had living here and having met over the course of a year on a weekly basis. And so they came out with the final version, and that's what we presented to our downtown merchants.
What stands out in that final result? What's in the survey? I mean, what is going to happen downtown that you would like to see?
Beautification.
Okay.
That's a big one. Economic development. That's another big one.
Okay, give us an example.
Sure.
Can you kind of give us
Yeah.
some
So we are, in fact, I'll just say what our top goal is for the HHBA. Now, the Downtown Strategies of Harrison Committee is a subcommittee of the Harrison Historic Business Association. So HHBA took results from that survey, and we have established as a board our list of top goals. Our number one goal is to have reestablished the Main Street Arkansas program and have a part-time staff member to start pursuing grants and projects within our downtown.
Yeah, we had that at one time.
Yeah, we did.
I served on the board for a while under Kay Steffen was our director at the time. Yeah, she did a wonderful job, and then things happened in our downtown, and unfortunately we lost that program, but we're going to resurrect it just as we did with the HHBA. It was a stagnant organization, and now it's reestablished and stronger than it ever has been. We have more members now than ever before.
Well, good.
And, there's a networking going on in the downtown like I've never seen. We've had our office down there, since I've been with the Convention and Visitors Bureau for 15 years, and I've never seen this level of communication, and it's a great thing.
What drives that communication? Is it a new blood, or is it wanting to network more? Or is it, I don't know, trying to...
What's the powerhouse behind that?
Can you enlighten me on that?
I think people are just starting to feel the momentum. Nobody wants to get left behind, so they're all jumping on the ship. You've seen lots of people like promoting downtown. The city has been a huge supporter of downtown. And I noticed they even made a Facebook post of like, if you see that we're like really focusing on downtown, it's because we are.
Right.
And, you know, there's always the worry that like people north of town might think that they're not getting as much attention. But I was kind of nervous. I went and looked at all the comments on that post, and everybody was like, yes, we love it. We need this. The whole community is very supportive of downtown thriving and kind of being revitalized.
That's good to know, and that will help make it a success.
Yes.
Especially if they're utilizing those businesses downtown.
Right.
So that they thrive.
I think when COVID hit, people really understood the importance of small businesses, and it kind of helped people realign their values of, if we don't help these businesses and we don't support them, they won't be here, and we value that they are here. So it has kind of just made a difference in mindset of, we got to make this a good area to be in and to have businesses in. So people are jumping on board.
I think local hometown people that own their own business, they're focused more on service and customer interaction. And I think you can't find that with corporate or big box
Amazon
retailers.
wasn't doing curbside pickup during COVID.
Yeah.
So, it's important to remember those small businesses that are there, and that you can get it within an hour or so if you need something. So.
Right.
Okay.
Wow.
Right.
So we had 4. I'll go over the 4 focuses real quick.
Hey, why don't you?
Yeah. So the 4 focus areas that came out of this strategic plan that were provided were policy and administration. I'll give you an example. If we've got an old building, a dilapidated building, and they're not making any progress on it, perhaps we give them some grant opportunities, or we encourage them with a little assistance of some sort. And then if they don't, ultimately it's up to them. But if they don't, maybe we encourage the sale of that property. Maybe we have something in place like other communities in Arkansas, where if you don't bring your facility up to code and get it rented out or do something with it, well, then you start paying what's called a dormant fee on your building.
Well, they do that with residential properties here that they let it grow up and it's not being lived in, and it becomes an eyesore to the community.
Yes.
Which is the same kind of philosophy, I think.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Some business owners may not know really which route to go, and you could be a great asset to that in directing them as to, maybe look at this side of it or this side of it.
We'll have a whole focus area of that we'll put together that's a team of people that will be able to help these businesses and building owners know what to do and what their options are, where to go to get those things done, that kind of thing too.
Yeah, because the priority is to get them to grow with us.
Sure.
And not to force anything, but to just have them come along with us.
Yeah, why have a dormant, abandoned building?
Yeah.
When you've got a downtown growth that's thriving and excelling. And
exactly.
Yeah, okay.
So focus area number 2 is design. So this comes into play with like your facades and, making sure that they're clean and look nice. And you could do some sandwich boards out front or some flags just to show some life.
Potted
plants. I mean, that's something simple. Add a little bit of color to the front of your storefront and just make it more inviting.
Right.
If you don't have anything in front of your store, maybe somebody doesn't know you're open,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the fact that some of our businesses, every morning they drag their sandwich board out front and they put it out on the sidewalk. So hey, we're here, we're ready. Or those flags that, I don't know what they are, those teardrop flags that we really need some of those wild flags out there, but those hit people.
We just put Matt out there on the
Not
sidewalk.
pedestrian safe on sidewalks. So that one's focus area number 2. The third one is tourism and promotion. Obviously, we have a good tourism draw to our downtown through the historic aspect, but also we have the mural art tour. Now we have Creekside Community Center, so that's going to be a sports tourism draw. And then, but the other aspect of that is create some small scale events. We don't need a Harvest Homecoming every weekend or every week or every month, rather, that shuts down the entire downtown. But what if we did a boutique crawl, which Emily has done for the last several years? What if we did a sip and shop, where you grab a cup of wine at Nino's, because we were in the entertainment district, and then you go walk around to the various businesses that are participants, but just to drive people downtown with some activity and make it specific and very intentional, not just random things going on in our downtown. And then the final one is economic vitality. I mean, all of our shop owners, Emily hit it on the head. Small business is a vital part of our community, and if we can improve the economic vitality of our downtown, it's incredible. We've got staples like Frenzy. I'll use her as an example that really does make downtown a destination. Well, then they happen across the salon next door that they didn't know was there, or they come to the Big Red Boot because they know they can get the best Justin boots in town there, and then they discover Nino's right next door to it, and they go in there for a lunch. But
you got to get them down there.
Got to get them down there. And so the cohesive working together and the cooperation is going to be very important for the economic vitality.
Well,
so
that's a plan.
Summarize it all. They gave us a 5-year plan.
Yes.
And it's not, we need to build these great things or we need to do all this.
Yeah.
It's very doable.
Very doable. It's in incremental parts. So, we can step 1, step 2, step 2, 3, and we do it in those steps, and then we'll be approaching city council with some of our ideas. We'll be going to civic organizations. We're here doing this show right now with you. Thank you for having us. And just spreading the word and getting the buy-in. We don't want this to be a forced plan. We want the community to be involved, just as they were when they filled out those 500
I think that's
surveys.
probably important.
Yeah.
So onward and upward.
Yeah. I think the big thing to note too with like every piece of the plan is there's small pieces and there's large pieces. So like the design part, it might be as simple as like cleaning your windows.
Right.
Or putting an open sign in your window, putting a sandwich board out. But it could also be, putting a new awning up or all new signage outside. So it's kind of overwhelming when you hear all of the things, but when you think of there are small things that you can do to start, I think it helps people realize like this is doable, and if we just do it one step at a time, we can all get it done.
Well, if you're selling your house and you want people attracted, then you have curb appeal.
Yes.
Right.
And that's what you were talking about here is the design factor of it. Yeah.
Clean the
Very
cobwebs off the entryways and
sweep the sidewalk.
Those
sidewalks.
Little things. Little things that don't really cost much, but it will make an impact. So
agreed.
Just things like that they can start with is getting people on board.
Now, is everyone downtown a part of this group, or are you wanting more people from the downtown area?
Our doors are open for them to get involved. We now have 102 email addresses in our database of downtown merchants or managers, and so we're going to be starting to send out communication to them to encourage them to get involved. We don't have all of them involved yet, but like Emily said, I think that they're going to start jumping on board when they see the momentum that we got.
Yeah.
Right.
And keep in mind, we have a $20 million facility that's just a short, maybe a quarter of a mile away, which is a very doable walk for anybody.
Yeah.
That traffic is going to be right there. Let's get them to our downtown.
Yeah.
So.
Right.
How can people communicate with you? How do we do that?
They can contact me or Matt anytime. We can get them connected with whoever they need to be connected with.
You want to go through Frenzy, or do you want to?
Yeah.
Either or, Frenzy. They can stop by Frenzy. They can stop by my office, Explore Harrison. They can stop by Beverly DeWitt's office. She's on our board, 726. They can stop by Psych Bike. Ronnie Combs is on our board. They can stop by Shelby's. Yeah.
Okay.
We also have HHBA meetings bi-monthly. Starting in February, we'll have a meeting every other month on the third Monday of the month.
Is the public invited to that?
Anybody that has interest in downtown is more than welcome to attend. And we will be rotating through businesses that are members. So send us get with us, and we'll let you know where it's going to be for each month.
Do y'all have a Facebook page for that?
We do.
Okay.
We have a Facebook page, and then the city has also been great about trying to help share and get the word out of where those meetings are and what time, that kind of thing.
Okay. Thank you all very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate it.
New year, new downtown.
Glad to see. Yeah, I like that. New
That's
year,
exciting.
New downtown. All right.
Get her moving.
You bet.
Get her done.
Thanks, guys. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we'll have more for you from around the table. We have President and CEO Jeff Nielson from the Chamber of Commerce here in Harrison. We'll find out all about what he's doing and how he's connected with you guys, too, probably, how they're all connected. We'll do that right after this.
Z.
Well, I don't know.
And welcome back to Around the Table. We're talking with President CEO Jeff Nielson from the Harrison Chamber of Commerce, and he's in the studio with us today. Welcome, sir.
Hey, Dan, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing well. Just waiting for the cold to come in, you know.
Yeah.
Ew.
You got your extra long johns and your wool socks?
I think so. We'll see.
We'll just stay in the house and not worry about it.
That's kind of my plan. Break out the space heaters and bundle up.
Yeah. Well, it's bound to come. We just have to deal with it.
Right.
We don't have a direct communication with how the weather is going to be around, especially in the Ozarks. So we just have to deal with it.
No.
So you're here. Go ahead.
No, go.
Was you going to say something? I was going to say you're here. We're talking about the Chamber of Commerce, and we were just chatting during the break about Matt and his plans to get the downtown more, I guess, more agreeable, accessible.
Invigorated.
Invigorate.
Okay,
there you go. That's a good word.
It's the word I've been using for it. Yeah. So the chamber is actually very supportive of the plans. We've been working with HHBA. That's Mike Neighbors is the guy that's pretty much heading it up, and he was the interim president for the chamber for a while. So when they hired me, I kind of followed in him, and he pretty much told me, "Say Jeff, you will be attending these meetings. You will be involved." So I was like, "Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I'll be there." It's just a couple. I mean, it's a really good plan. I mean, the company that they hired, Retail Strategies, private consultants, they do this nationwide for small towns. That's their niche market.
Yeah.
And the plan they put together, they rolled it out last week. I think it was on the 6th. Really good presentation. Matt did a great job of rolling it out, presenting it. All the guys did, But the program is really good, and I think they finally got a really clear path set forward about how we can go in, how we can get funds, what we need to do to reinvigorate the town square, because it truly is a wonderful jewel for Harrison. I mean, how many small towns do you know that still have a fully intact and complete town square like that?
Absolutely,
with the county courthouse right in the middle, just to kind of the cherry on top. So it's a beautiful place, and I think this. I had done some work when I was working for the judge, looking at grant funding to repair and do some renovations to the courthouse, and kind of stumbled across some of the stuff that they're working on now. And Matt's right. It's all a chain of events you have to go through. So you have to get the historical preservation area set up. You have to be working have a board put in place, and that opens you up into membership into the what's called Main Street Arkansas program. And once you're into that, there's all kinds of funding things. There's art funding programs they put in there. There's educational training programs that are all free of charge for the shop owners in the square. There's funding for doing simple things like making all the awnings the same, signage on the streets, things like that. And it's the little things like that that make businesses more approachable.
Sure.
And I think it'll be helpful.
Yeah.
And then with the mayor doing, he's doing a lot of outreach into the sports arena stuff. So getting tournaments into to Creekside. These are all-day tournaments.
It draws people to
draws people in. What's Grandma and Grandpa going to do when Junior's not playing? When he's not playing on the court, well, you get bored, you go walk around. Come on down to the square. Look, we've got lots of things for you to buy, lots of places where you can go eat. And the more opening and attractive we can make those storefronts, the better it is.
Agreed, for sure.
Well, any location like that draws people, like Creekside, it's going to be a hub for activity, and it could bring in more business. Excuse me, but what they're doing is exciting, and I know that you're going to be a part of that too. And I'm sure that you'll be getting phone calls from people from around that have a small business say, "Hey, is there any property available down there? Can you direct me where I can go?"
That'd be
Those
awesome,
kind of things.
wouldn't it?
I believe we can help them with that. There are some spots available. If you've been down there, there are a couple of openings that we would be more than happy to help direct an interested property or interested business into. So just contact Chamber. We'd be happy to help them out.
Yeah.
Wow.
Chamber of Commerce is kind of like the information a hub
It
of
is.
everything. I'm
It
sure you
is.
get all kinds of calls down there.
We do. God bless my staff, especially Amy. Amy Deers usually one catching a bunch of these phone calls. She's a wealth of knowledge, but I've kind of eavesdropped on some of the conversations she's had. It goes anywhere from, it's all over the place. Hospitals to I've lost a dog. It's everything in between. It's like, we don't do that at the chamber, but here, let me give you a number. And she's very professional and very helpful and kind of riding to where they need to be.
You need her right there in that spot then.
Yes, I do. Her and Lloyd do great work. So,
what else is going on?
How are you settling in? Are you feeling kind of a normal day now, or is it still a little, you're learning some new things as you go along?
Well, I'm always learning new things.
Yeah.
But it's settling in some. So I think I still have to remember, it's like I've barely been there 60 days or been here 60 days. So it's, but it's gotten a lot more comfortable as far as what's, what we're looking at, what we're supposed to be doing. Primarily what I've been doing for these first 2 months is trying to meet as many people.
Right.
I'm trying to meet the important, the influential businesses and people within the town. Talk to them. Okay, what do you see with Harrison? What do you see with the chamber? Where do we need to be focusing? Where do we need to be moving? What's happened in the past? Tell me about the history. Everything like that. I'm a sponge when it comes to information. I love to kind of tell me your story. I want to hear it.
That helps you to formulate a plan.
Sure.
Yeah,
for
and
sure.
Then you got to see it from your perspective. You can always get advice from the other directors.
Yeah.
But when you hear it from the other people, you form your own opinion, and you form your own philosophy, and you may see something that was overlooked, and you say, we probably ought to focus on that.
Yeah. Well, that's you got to talk about that. It's one of the first things I did was there's all kinds of rumors around about business. We're a small town, and so as each company kind of waxes and wanes throughout their career or the history in town, there's always those jobs are moving away, or these that company's closing up, or this is happening or that's happening. So the first thing I did was I kind of reached out to every company that I heard a bad rumor about and said, hey, I've heard this about you, what's going on? And I'm happy to report that all of the rumors were false.
See, but people could leave that perception, if they don't go meet it head on.
Yeah. I mean, there was all kinds of stuff out there. Pace isn't closing. FedEx isn't shipping off all their employees to some other country.
Wow.
Wabash is doing well. I'm trying to think some of the other ones that I've met with, but I mean, everything's doing pretty good. In fact, the business community has been pretty optimistic. You're not going to see immediate changes, at the first of the year, but they said Q2 is supposed to be really where you will see, upticks in production, and that's what they're expecting.
Okay.
So
and
should be good for Harrison.
Yeah, and I think with the new administration coming in, they're pushing economic development, and I think that in people's minds will make them maybe invest more or take on the responsibility of opening a new business, or so. I mean, it's a positive. It feels positive to me.
I agree with that. Very much so. The Trump administration has made it pretty clear that they are looking at. Well, I mean, their whole marketing theme is make America great again.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's and that's not. You don't do that by outsourcing your labor to Mexico or to Canada.
Right.
They're talking about bringing your blue-collar basic jobs back into America, which I think is desperately needed.
Yeah.
I mean, we need to be making more stuff in the United States. I mean,
yes.
Where's don't go look where your dishwasher or your refrigerator's
made
at. And everything's disposable too. So,
that's true.
I think his goal is really to try and make things, put that value of made in America back into it.
Yeah.
And let's start making some things in America.
Maybe your fridge will last longer than 7 years.
Yeah. You got 7 years? You're doing well. My ice maker went out after I think a year. So
I'm afraid to upgrade to a new refrigerator. I've had mine for 30 some years, and I'm afraid that if I've upgraded, the new one won't last very long.
that's a risk you run nowadays.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if you came prepared to talk about anything, but We just hijacked it, so you didn't get too bad.
Well, that's what these things are about. Look, we're talking about heritage. We're talking about business and community and what's going on. So
we love you coming in.
Yeah.
Happy to be here. Love to come in and
anything,
talk.
Any groundbreaking news flashes that the chamber wants to reveal right here on the show?
Well, I don't know if it's groundbreaking. I mean, the one thing I'm pretty happy about right now is we got a couple of events coming up that I was going to highlight here. So we have our come up on February 6th. We have our State of Education. It's K through 12. We got Dr. Pratt's going to be doing that presentation. Okay. We also have a State of the City that's going to be on March 6th. And that one, obviously, Mayor Jackson and his crew are going to be heading that up. That's going to be down at City Hall. I forgot to say, Jake Gray with State Farm, he is sponsoring the State of Education. And then the sponsor for the State of the City is going to be Black Hills Energy. So thank you to our sponsors for that.
Okay.
But the big one that we're still working on, but I've kind of soft rolled it out, is our Chamber's annual meeting. So that one's going to be on March 18th. It's down at Signature Bank. We've got Equity Bank as our sponsor, their primary sponsor. Kinetic is also going to be recognized there because they're our leadership program sponsor. Those are the guys that sponsor up our adult learning program that we have there, and we're doing a graduation at that event as part of that event, I should say. Okay. But the big announcement for that is our keynote speaker is going to be Lieutenant Governor Leslie Rutledge. So, Arkansas's own. So she's a very dynamic speaker. First woman elected to lieutenant governor position. I think she's going to bring a lot of information and a lot of insight into what's happening at the state, especially, come March. We should be at the end of the legislative session, so hopefully we get an update on that. So that'll be a really good presentation. I'm really excited about it.
Yeah.
We'll stay tuned for additional information on how to get tickets and all that. On closer to time, we'll let y'all know.
We'll have you come back.
Yeah, we'll have you come back.
They're actually already online.
Well, there you go.
They're already online. They're already sold. In fact, we're about a third already sold. So,
so get your tickets now.
Yeah.
Well, Jeff, anything else?
Just other things we're doing for the community. We have a youth leadership program we put on called YLA. Next week they're going to be going to some of the classes. We have it's a culinary and etiquette session that they're going to be going through. Now the youth leadership program is for juniors in high school. It's for all eligible to any junior in the region. And then they'll be doing a tour of Wabash. So, I need to thank Brick Oven Pizza for sponsoring the culinary part of that, and then what's her name? Joan Bell from Joan Bell Shelter Insurance. She's doing the etiquette portion, which that's a important thing.
A good thing. This is a good thing.
This is basically
a good thing.
Training the youth at the high school level, and then we just did a BCLA.
You don't eat like this. I'm just telling you.
Don't eat Oreos and go on a date.
Yeah. Exactly.
Things like that. So that's good. And then we have our the Boone County Leadership Institute, which is our BCLI. That's our adult leadership. They just did a class and basically on education forum. So we sent them out to the OUR co-op, to the Harris Administration ISD building, and then the North Arkansas College. So that's basically what we've been up to.
All right.
Man, you talked us out of time now.
Oh, sorry.
Hey, would you come back? Come back in around 30 days.
I think I can do that. If you'll have me, I'll be back.
I'll have you. Bet. We'll have you.
All right, guys.
Thanks, Jeff.
Anytime.
We're going to take a break. We'll be right back.
Channel 26.1.
And welcome back to our final seconds of Around the Table. It's our Friday show, and I'm always excited to do our Friday show.
Why is that, Dan?
Because it means I don't have to get up early tomorrow.
Exactly.
That's why.
Exactly.
So.
Or even if I do wake up, I don't have to get out of bed because I don't want to.
No.
So, do you know any idea? Hello. Would you like to know what today is?
Today is the Ditch New Year's Resolution Day.
Well, those resolutions that you may have done for 2 days.
Ditch them.
Now you can, I guess, officially ditch them.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's also Ben Franklin Day.
Oh, we used to have a Ben Franklin here in town.
Yes, we did.
It's actually on the east side of the square. That building's been empty for so long.
Right.
I don't know if they need to sell that building.
Didn't it turn into
Birchall's Ben Franklin.
Ben Franklin, yeah. Celebrated, well, that has nothing to do with this.
I know,
Celebrated on the day of the birth in 1706.
Oh, Ben Franklin. Oh.
I don't know. You're like all like shopping.
I'm shopping.
Dan is shopping.
I'm doing the 5 and dime thing.
It's also National Classy Day, so you should be classy today.
Okay, how should I act? Like this?
Maybe no.
It's not classy enough for you?
Maybe you should go to that etiquette class.
I'm going to do some
perhaps.
Fake eyelashes.
Is that classy?
The big ones.
That's not classy, is it?
Well, yeah, it is.
Okay.
I don't know.
I mean, that's not what my vision of classy is. Y'all think Audrey Hepburn? She was classy.
Yeah, she was classy.
Come on.
She didn't have to foo-foo anything. She was awesome.
No, she didn't. Grace Kelly, another classy chick.
Yep.
Anyway. Okay, tomorrow's National Winnie the Pooh Day.
Oh.
National Thesaurus Day, Maintenance Day, National
Thesaurus. I love
Peking
Thesaurus.
Duck Day.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. So Sunday, the TikTok ban is scheduled to go in effect. So if you get up on Sunday and it won't work,
hey, if you got a VPN, you can bypass all that.
I don't have a VPN. But National Popcorn Day. Go eat some popcorn.
Oh, I think I will.
And brew a potion while you're at it. All right, people. We'll be back on Monday morning, bright and early at 9 o'clock, right here.
Have an awesome weekend. We'll see you Monday.